Turn your radios up. Turn your radios up. You know what this is. Y'all know who this is. B-Eazy, that dude, back with another one. Impromptu stream, middle of the day, evening for some. I won't be here for a long time, but it will be a strong time. So I'm going to take this time to shout out the people that will be tuning in live from the chat and the people that will be supporting with the replay game. I sincerely appreciate you, and we're going to get right into it. Y'all know I don't like to keep y'all waiting. I like to get right into it. But before we get into it, let me give a round of applause to my supporters and my contributors. And before we get started, you know, I gotta hit you.
私も地元民と言っても時間がぐらいです。もう友達できたの？うん。ぶったまんまこっち見ない。
This promethazine got me leaning like a cholo. In the club, I'm 20 deep. I don't be riding solo. Pull some bad bitches, they vanilla and cocoa. They wanna take some photos when we kick it out in Soho. Chicks are showing tits and popping pussy for my promo. Told them like juvenile, baby, move it for me slow-mo. Then I'm right back to the block, cause I can get in moto. I be flipping, not shrinking. I don't give a fuck about no ho. This nigga name ain't D-Lo, but pimpin' these bitches and stacking his bricks. Forever be my stilo. This is B-Eazy, that dude in the trap making pass smooth. If I ever go broke, then I'm about to pull a jack move. Since a nigga healthy, I don't even gotta worry. With my bitch from Fiji, eating tandoori and chicken curry. That ism is really indie. My pimp game international. I design my own clothes, so I be always looking fashionable. Here's a couple facts about me that y'all didn't know. Some of y'all be getting bread, but I be getting bigger, dawg. I got bigger guns and a whole lot of bad.
Okay, we're back into it, and we are activated. Looks like we have already been joined by some illustrious guests. We got, and I don't want to mispronounce your name, so I'm going to just say Sha. We got Sha Black in building. What it did to do. And look, man, let me set this up for y'all. I'm going to be reacting to a video from a content creator. His name is Ricardo Ignacio. He is a Mexican indigenous man, and he speaks on anti-Black racism in the Latino community, specifically coming from a Mexican perspective. A lot of times people try to say, oh, you guys are complaining too much. Well, why are you whining? Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, etc., etc. Why are you complaining about racism? That's a thing of the past. No, it's alive and well. But don't take my word for it. Let's listen to what the Latino brethren has to say. And he titled this, Latinos Dislike Black People. Okay, so it's pronounced Shock Ra King. Okay, Shock Ra. Shout out to Shock Ra. And I don't know if that's a play on the word of the chakras and you tapping into your spiritual essence and energy. But I'm going to need some of that energy in the chat because this is going to be a good one. I won't be here for a long time, but it will be a strong time. Salute Shock Ra King and building. But like I said, this brother right here, and I really want to give a shout out to Ricardo Ignacio. Maybe I'll do some content or a collab with him in the future. But he's one of the only one that I could even think of who has the unmitigated gall and courage to call out his community, because people always like to say the Black community has an accountability problem. And I've already reiterated multiple times that no, we are held accountable more than any other group. We hold ourselves accountable more than any other group. And when you look at some of these other groups, whether it be Hispanics, you don't hear people talking about brown on brown crime. You don't even hear them talk about the vile, disgusting anti-blackness that permeates through their community. And people will say, not all. Okay, cool. It's not all, but y'all won't even talk about the some. Y'all won't even talk about the few, which means that you're complicit with it. And you can say you're not complicit with it, but silence is complicity, and some say silence is violence. Let's get right into the video. Mr. Ricardo Ignacio, a Mexican man, says Latinos dislike black people. Let's see what he has to say.
Reached out to me to express things like, Ricardo, you know, I do believe you that the Latino, the Mexican, the Hispanic community, they do suffer from these things that you talk about. But I personally have a lot of Latino, Hispanic, Mexican friends, and they party with me, they love me, etc. But here's the thing. The things that I talk about or that I try to shed light on have nothing to do with the fact that you may have Mexican, Hispanic, Latino friends, a girlfriend, a wife, a baby mama, whatever. None.
Let me stop it right there, because for some strange, odd, and obnoxious reason, this is this. So people understand when they hear a bigoted non-black person saying bigoted thing towards black people, and they say, but I have a black friend. You give them the side eye, the stank eye. You look at them like they got some poop on their forehead. Why? Because you know, simply having a black friend doesn't negate or discount someone's potential and proclivity for being anti-black. And this is on the flip side too. People will be like, man, my Latino homies is cool with me. We party all the time. Oh, they party with you all the time and you're drinking Corona, their beer, Modelo, their beer. You're in their neighborhood at their bar. I mean, why would they have an issue with you? They know that you're not going to do anything. You're a drunken mess, and all you're going to do is just laugh and be most likely a very docile, hate to say it, but many times a buck broken figure. So of course they're cool with you. They see you as a non-threat. Now, those same Latinos that you was ha and kikiing with, drinking Modelo Negra with, drinking Corona with lime with, if you try to hit on their sisters, dale, you're going to see a different side of them. See, the people always talking about, man, blacks and Latinos, we stick together. Okay, where are the black and Latino businesses? Like, because when I see construction companies or any Latino company, they predominantly hire Latinos and obviously whites, because most Latinos identify as racially white. So where's this whole black and brown thing? Right? Where, you know, I don't want to hear that, hey, I drunk some beers with some Mexicans, so that means that we have solidarity. No, where are the businesses? Where are the Latinos fighting or advocating for specific tangible policies that will help uplift, enfranchise, and enrich the black community? Just because some Mexican dude bought a rap CD, just because some Puerto Rican dude like Fat Joe grew up in the Bronx around black people, that doesn't mean that there's solidarity. Should there be? Yes. Do I want to see unity? Yes. But in order for that to happen, we have to operate from a place of truth. We can't operate from a place of fantasy, acting like this is just this racial utopia and everyone just gets along because you drink beer and listen to rap music. Come on now, let's get into it.
To do with that. It has to do with a lot of things that are normalized in Latin American countries. There's a lot of white supremacist ideologies, views, beliefs that have been normalized in Latin American countries. Ideologies that have resulted in most of us suffering from internalized racism, colorism, etc. Those are the things that I tend to shed light on, because a lot of my people are not aware of these things, and the reason why they're not aware of it is because they have been normalized. However, here's the thing about your Mexican, Latino, Hispanic friends. It's not what they say when they're around you. It's what they say and how they feel about you when you're not around. For example, I believe I was around 19, 18 years old, and I went to a party. And this party had nothing but Mexicans, white people, and a couple of Filipinos. And you want to know something? Everything was amazing. We were all getting along. And guess what happened next? I guess a black person was invited. And this black individual brought her friends over. As soon as they all walked in, everybody started getting uncomfortable. And one person in particular became very uncomfortable to the point where she went to go sit on the sofa away from everybody else and just remained there until the party was over and all the black people left. And all that remained were a couple of white and Mexican people there. See, she was comfortable with the white people. She was comfortable with everybody else. But as soon as black people arrived, there was a problem. And if you're going to say, oh, Ricardo, that's one of the racist ones. Well, you want to know what's crazy? Her boyfriend was black. And you want to know how she behaved around her black boyfriend? Great. You want to know all the negative things that she had to say about black people when she was around her black boyfriend? None. You would.
So let's unpack that. He's talking about his experience with some Latinos, and in specific, this Latino woman who had a black boyfriend, but she disliked black people. And see, and I'm gonna talk to the men, but you know, this is not exclusive to one gender. This is to black people, but I'm a man, so I really have to speak to the men. Look, Latinas are some of the finest women to ever walk the face of the earth. Extremely gorgeous, loyal, loving, etc., etc. Regardless of that fact, if you sell out your entire lineage and progeny just because you got some non-black cooch that you consider exotic, you are a failure. You are a pathetic excuse for a man. You're not even a man. You're a male. And look, man, hey, swirl it up, date who you want to date, do who you want to do, but do not sell out your lineage. Do not sell out your community because you got head, or you hit it from the back and she was calling you, ay, papi. Okay, bruh, you know how many Latinas it is in Latin America that you can get to do that without selling out your community? You know how many of them you can get to do that here without selling out your community? So the fact that you believe that you need to voluntarily buck break yourself, because buck breaking is not just physical, it's psychological as well. That's extremely pathetic. And you're going to instill that type of defeated ideology into your kids. Your kids are going to come out confused. Your kids are going to, your Latino side is going to consider them black. And you're going to say, oh, no, my kid is not just black. I have to give praise to the other side. They're biracial. And then you'll wonder why. Well, why doesn't the black community embrace my mixed kid? Okay, because there it is. You said that your kid is mixed. You said that your kid is biracial. So you need to have two discussions. See, when I say B1, that means black first. So that means that we're putting black issues primarily first. When others say B1, they mean biracial first. Bi means two. I'm having one conversation with the black community. You're having two separate conversations. One with the black community, one with the Latino community, or whatever other community that you chose to mate and date with. So that's where the disdain is. Like, man, we're more accepting than anyone. Black people will take anybody. We subscribe to the racist colonial one drop rule. Even though we shouldn't, we subscribe to that. Other groups don't subscribe to that. Once there's one drop of Latino, do people go around and saying, oh yeah, he's Mexican, he has one drop of Chicano in him? They be like, no, his dad is Negrito, his dad is Moreno, he's black. And then these kids come out confused, saying one day they're black, the other day they're mixed, and another day they're Latino. And people is like, nah, bro, we're not doing that. You have to draw a line in the sand. So there are many Latinos that get with people, black people. They love the soul pole. They love bouncing on a BBC and making you some tamales after with some, what is that cheese? I don't know, that little crumbled cheese. Yeah, they do all the works, right? And then here you are assimilating. You used to wear fitted hats, now you wearing sombreros. Come on, bruh. Like, you don't gotta change your style. You don't gotta sell out your community just to get some cooch when you know that 9 times out of 10, they family do not give a flying flip about you. What is manly about that? You know that their family has disdain for you, but you still try to grovel and bend the knee because you think that that further ingratiates yourself with the Latino community? Don't be so pathetic, man. Let's get back into it.
Assume that she's down for the cause. Oh, she's dating a brother. She loves us. You think so? Unfortunately, we live in a society where we think because a person of another race dates us, marries us, has children with us, that in itself is the evidence that that individual and their family are not racist towards us. The amount of black people that I've met that express to me things like, Ricardo, I ended up marrying a Mexican woman, a Latina woman, and it wasn't until we had kids that I realized how racist her family were towards black people, even to the point where our child that came out looking black is not even welcome, is not wanted over there on that side of the family. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't get to realize this grim truth and reality until they end up having children with that Latina, that Mexican, that Hispanic. I've said this before in many videos, but I'll say it again, and I'll probably keep saying it over and over again. In Latin American countries, we have something called Mejorar la Raza. That means improve the race. And if you do not study what this means and how much it affects our psyche, the way we view things, you will never understand why people from Latin.
So let's unpack that term for a minute. Mejoró la raza, blancamiento. It means improve the race, advance the race. How do you advance the race? By lightening and whitening the race. So they put a premium on white skin. You think I'm lying? Look at Telemundo. Look at Univision. Where are the Afro-Latinas? Like, people love to say that, right? There's plenty of Afro-Mexicans. Did you know that the Afro-Mexicans weren't even recognized until 2015? They've been there since the 1500s. Let me say that again. They've been there since the 1500s and were not even recognized as U.S. citizens until 2015. But hey, ain't no anti-black racism. We're all the same. We're all people of color. We're just a black and brown unity that we all get along. No, man, we got to stop with this illogical fallacy. Many people, and Mexicans specifically, they fought to be legally classified as white. They were foaming at the mouth, drooling, crust in the side and the corner of their mouths to say, no, you guys have to say that we are white. I may even just pull that up. Don't even, you don't have to take my word for it. Look up LULAC, which is one of the most historic, largest Latino advocacy organizations in history. And they have it on their website now, not yesterday, today, where they are proud. They're proud of that accomplishment, going to court. They took it to court to say that, no, you guys have to legally classify us as white. When they try to talk about there was Juan Crow and segregation and all this stuff, they were fine with segregation. See, the whites segregated and said, hey, you guys are beaners and wetbacks. We don't want y'all around us. And then they said, hey, we're not like those niggers. We're white like you. And they fought to be legally classified and represented as white. But now people want to have this revisionist history as if everyone is a person of color, which is one of the most idiotic and offensive terms to ever use. So don't ever call me a person of color. Don't call me a POC, or I'm going to call you a POS, because we were the only ones labeled color here. If you think not, okay, what color are Asians? Asians are yellow, or Asians are brown. Do Asians identify as brown? Most black people are brown. They're not identifying as the color black, saying that they're actually black. They're saying that black is their ethnonym. But these other groups, even the Latinos, just say, man, black and brown pride. What browns are we talking about? A lot of Mexicans I know are white Mexicans. So where is the brown? What brown are we talking about? There's a bunch of brown. There's some brown Filipinos. They don't identify as brown. So where is the whole person of color? They got these Asians that are lily white, but they're called a person of color. They got these Jewish Israeli peoples that are now called a person of color. So what that does is it tries to make it seem like we had the same struggle. People of color got dog sicked on them. And I'm Asian and I'm a person of color too. So what? That don't mean you got dog sicked on you. And that's why we saying, man, hell no. We need to delineate. We need to disaggregate. Forget all this person of color talk, because if you think, oh, he's doing too much, it's not that serious. Okay. To the Native Americans, just call them Indian. Y'all all just one big Indian. Forget the Seminole, forget the Choctaw, forget the Navajo. Y'all just one big global Indian. Asians, y'all just one big global Asian. Forget Korean, forget Filipino, Thai, Chinese, Cambodian. Y'all all one big Asian. People will say, no, you can't do that. That's disrespectful, etc. And you'll completely understand that. Same thing with Jewish people. There's Mizrahi, Sephardic, Ashkenazi. Y'all all just one big Jew. No, they delineate and disaggregate. But with us, we have to be one big global Negro. So if you from Senegal, if you from Chad, if you from Sudan, if you from Haiti, if you from Jamaica, y'all all one big global Negro. No. We have a right to our intellectual sovereignty as well. Look that term up, intellectual sovereignty. We have a right to claim our own lineage, create and cultivate our own customs and practices. Let's get back into it.
American countries suffer from this, and to what degree? There's a reason why it's normalized for Hispanics, Latinos, Mexicans to be perfectly fine. As a matter of fact, encourage.
Oh, it looks like we've been joined by John Sinatra in building. He's saying Taco Tuesday. Sombrero Sinatra, you over there eating them tacos? Where you at? We ain't on too much, man. Like I said, I ain't gonna be here for a long time, but it will be a strong time. I'm addressing the vile, disgusting anti-Black racism that is permeating in the Latino community. This is broken down by Ricardo Ignacio. Don't take my word for it. Let the bro cook. Let mi hermano cook.
Our sons and daughters to go find themselves a white person to marry and have children with. Meanwhile, it's very normalized, called Mejorar la Raza. That means improve the race. And if you do not study what this means and how much it affects our psyche, the way we view things, you will never understand why people from Latin American countries suffer from this, and to what degree. There's a reason why it's normalized for Hispanics, Latinos, Mexicans to be perfectly fine. As a matter of fact, encourage our sons and daughters to go find themselves a white person to marry and have children with. Meanwhile, it's very normalized for us to discourage our sons and daughters to avoid at all costs to get with the black person to marry and have children.
And I'm gonna let the boy cook, but it looks like I missed. I have been joined by the enchanting, the sophisticated, the ravishing Sunlight in building. let's get back into it. And another special shout out to Ricardo Ignacio, because I don't hear a lot of Latino, Mexican brethren saying the truth. I mean, we already know that this is true. He ain't told one lie. But for sometimes people just act like, oh, we don't know why blacks are not out there protesting. So so ICE doesn't deport anyone. Why the hell will we go out there protesting for some people that we know is anti-black towards our entire existence? Are you kidding me? Let's commence.
That in itself is part of Mejorando la Raza. And you have to understand what this means and how much it affects us. And I'll share this one last piece with you. I had this one black guest come up on my platform, on my live streams, and he shared a story with me, an experience rather. And he said, Ricardo, me as a black man, I had a child with a Salvadorian woman. And meanwhile, I was dating her, everything was fine. But as soon as she got pregnant and she brought me over to meet her mother just disliked me from the get-go. And then our son was born, and none of her family want us around. They don't want to meet my son, etc. And then he asked me, Ricardo, you as a Hispanic, what am I doing wrong? Why don't they like me? What would you recommend that I do? Or what can I do so they could like me? And I said, don't be black. They are pissed off.
Ouch. Bro is over there. You see what I'm saying? Voluntarily buck breaking himself. What could I do? What could I do for them to accept me? Bruh, they don't like your goofy ass. What is this hard? Why is this so hard for you to understand? And see, this is what I'm saying. A lot of y'all dudes get in there and just start simping. You get some cooch and you just act oblivious. Ain't no racism. Ain't no white supremacy. Ain't no anti-blackness. Because you got some cooch and she said, "Ay, papi, hit it harder." And now you think it ain't no racism? Come on, bro. You got to get it together. And Ricardo is a Mexican dude. He's saying this, he's noticed this in all Latino communities. He's talked to Dominicans, same thing. He's talked to Colombians, same thing. He's talked to Brazilians, same thing. Are y'all seeing a pattern here? Now he's talking about El Salvadorians, same thing. Anti-black racism is global. Is very rampant. Anyone that's acting confused about this, and shout out to Dr. Nilly Fuller and Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, who said if you don't understand white supremacy, everything else will confuse you. And then when you say, well, Mexicans are not white, actually many of them are, because Mexican is not a race. It's a nationality and an ethnic identifier. Just as well as there are white Mexicans, there's black Mexicans. And the black Mexicans are marginalized, shunned, and shamed. So Mexican is not a race. So when he keeps emphasizing the Mejorando la Raza, they want to advance the race. How are they advancing the race? By whitening the race. In order for them to whiten the race, they need to uphold white supremacy. They're upholding white supremacy because many of them are white. And this is what happens with a bunch of dudes where they get the spicy Latinas. They get that cooch and they think that, oh, yeah, man, I'm with something exotic. I'm with something non-white. No, bro, you're with a white Latina. You with a white girl who speaks Spanish. And then if you got a darker Latina, she's shamed by the light Latinas. So there's colorism within the Latino community. Don't take my word for it. Look it up. You can use any AI model that you would like, Grok, Chat GPT, Copilot, and you'll see what I'm saying is spot on. Let's commence.
Because their daughter downgraded by having a child with a black person. And now, and I said, don't be black. They are pissed off because their daughter downgraded by having a child with a black person. And now a new member of their family is black with bad hair. And if you're looking at me and thinking, Ricardo, what are you talking about? That is part of Mejorando la Raza. And I need you to understand what this means and how deep it affects us. So you could understand why Latinos believe that upgrading is to get with white people and have children with white people, and avoid at all costs to get with black people and to avoid having children.
And then when many black people have children with Latinos, their children are confused. Their children sometimes disrespect their black side. Their black side fully accepts them. Yeah, we might crack jokes on them, but we crack jokes on everyone. But their Latino side, they don't see you as La Raza unless you do something amazing. Like if you go to the NBA, then they'll be like, oh yeah, he's Chicano just like me. Like, huh? Like you was just calling him Mayate and Negrito. Now all of a sudden he's, La Raza Chicano. Like, okay. So people need to understand, hey, look, love who you want, date and mate who you want. But to just try to deny these racial and racist undertones just because you got some head and it was good, just because you got some cooch and it was slippery. Come on, man, get it together.
With black people, Mejorando la Raza is a very real thing. And unfortunately, a lot of people in Latino countries will deny that this is a real thing. And unfortunately, the reason why it's not solved is because when people like myself try to expose and address it, the rest of the Latin community, they get angry. Ricardo, why are you making us look bad?
So think about that. And it is taking courage for what he's doing, because I'm sure he's getting a lot of, threats from people. And he's saying, why are you making us look bad? Remember, I always tell you, who is the Latino version of Charleston White? Who is the Asian version of Jesse Lee Peterson? Who is the white version of the Hodge twins? Who is the Jewish version of Candace Owens? See, we have all of these black people talking about black on black crime and blacks need to do this and pull yourself up by your bootstraps and pull your pants up. Even though it's inaccurate and illogical fallacies, that's accountability. Hey, blacks, I'm pointing out a problem and saying what you need to do. Show me where these other groups do that. Show me a video of Asians talking about Asian on Asian crime and talking about Asians need to stop with these, bringing in fentanyl and having these illicit massage parlors where there's a lot of human trafficking going on. Show me one video of Asians talking about that. There was a case of Jewish people harboring pedos in Israel. Show me one video of Jewish people talking about that. Latinos, they have bigger gangs in America. Their gangs are more organized. That's part of their culture. Show me a video of Latinos talking about brown on brown crime and we got to stop killing ourselves and we got to do better. Most Latinos are killed by Latinos. So show me a video of them talking about Latino on Latino crime. But you can find black people nauseating videos of them talking about it for 10 hours, talking about, and black people need to do this, and the gender war this, and women need to submit. Like countless videos of the black community. You got non-black people talking about what the black community needs to do. So I don't want to hear anyone keep bringing up this lame lie and talking a point about black accountability when you have this person, Ricardo Ignacio, a Mexican man, holding this community accountable for what they're actually doing. All he's saying is what they're doing. He didn't tell a lie. You notice that they're not saying, Ricardo, why are you lying on us? It's saying, why are you making us look bad? No, he's telling the truth. Remember I told y'all what people's kryptonite is? A mirror. All you got to do is hold that mirror up to their face, because they'll be saying the blacks do this and the blacks do that. And I'll say, okay, cool. We do that. And then you start saying what they do. And they start saying, but, like, why are y'all stuttering? Like, I had to hold all the stuff, right? Okay. You think I'm a low IQ thuggish monkey? Fine. Okay. I'll have to hold that. But you're fleeing gang violence, cartels, right? Where they're doing Colombian neckties. You don't know nobody in Chicago that's slitting people's throat and pulling their tongue through it. They're doing that in Colombia. There's no cartel. There's no black cartels in Chicago. There's no black mafias in Oakland. But there are quite a bit of Jewish mafias and Italian and Irish and Mexican mafias. So who really has a culture of violence, right? We're not manufacturing guns. They keep saying, oh, all of these drugs are coming across the border. Okay, who's making those drugs? Asians with the fentanyl, right? Who usually, you see all the movies, who is the plug? Is the plug usually a black dude? When there's bricks of cocaine, I mean, who is the plug? So if they're the plug, wouldn't that be their culture? I'm just saying.
Making us look bad? And that's the problem. Why are you making us look bad? And I'm thinking, making us look bad? You are more concerned about our image than actually solving these issues that ruin us. An example.
But are they concerned about their image? Because, like I said, cartels, gang violence, that's part of their image. But, you know, they don't care about that because they on the, well, what about Chicago and the Crips and the Bloods? How the hell you gonna talk about Crips and Bloods, but Tren de Aragua is bigger than the Crips and the Blood? The Mexican Mafia, bigger than the Crips and the Blood. So, what's the other one? MS-13, bigger than the Crips and the Bloods. But when you see a few black gangbangers, that's black culture. When you see MS-13, who's way bigger than this entire black gang, oh, no, that's not Latino culture. Okay. But we've been joined by another illustrious guest, Stan, the man, Broseph, in building. Sock passe.
I had a Dominican guy come up on my platform one time. He said to me, Ricardo, you've made a couple of videos that have gone viral about Dominicans, about how we don't like being black, etc. And you want to know something? You're not wrong. But you want to know what I'm experiencing myself as a Dominican living in the Bronx? I have a barber shop, and I've been losing a lot of clients that are black American because it's trending right now that Dominicans hate being black, don't want to associate with black, etc. And I feel, Ricardo, like you're one of those people that are making us look bad. You see, the concern here was not the anti-blackness. Nah, the concern here is I'm losing customers at my barbershop. And that is why we can't solve these issues, because you're making us look bad.
And see, these other groups, all they see us is a dollar sign, a stepping stone, and a doormat. So when we're not out there crashing out for ICE, when we're telling every other group to hold your own nuts, and then people are saying you're xenophobic, and Martin Luther King had a dream, and this past black scholar fought for immigrants. You know what? Those days are over. We've been fighting for anyone and everyone, crashing out, and all of these groups turned around, bent over, and said, kiss our ass. And we've been stupidly still saying, you know what? A rising tide lifts all boats. All lives matter. We're going to go out there and vote Democrat because we do want to see better, and we believe in justice and equality for all. And what has that got us? 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, the same. All is led to is further displacement, further disenfranchisement. When you got people like Tucker Carlson talking about the great replacement theory, yeah, that's not a theory, it's a strategy. Now, it's not really for white people, it's really for black people, which is why they bring over a bunch of people who came here illegally, and they say, don't call them illegal, call them undocumented. Okay, fine, bruh. Did they come here illegally or not? Yeah, they did, but don't say that. You see what I'm saying? If you break in and enter into someone's house, you're unauthorized to be on that property. You've entered the premises illegally. They have no problem saying that. But if you enter the country illegally, no, don't say that. And then all of the people that these bleeding heart people that say, okay, these model minorities work so much harder than the blacks. Guess where they don't want them living? They don't want them anywhere near them. Sorry, Jorge. Sorry, Jose and Miguel, Carlos. They don't want to live near you, but they will dump you in a black neighborhood and give you loans and say, see, if they can do it, and they came over here with nothing in their pocket but $2 and a tamale, how could they do it? But then they don't talk about all of these government programs, subsidies, handouts, goodies, giveaways, and guarantees that they had. They are a buffer group. They were given an economic floor to displace us. They didn't pull themselves up by their bootstraps, because if that's the case, how are you going to tell me that, oh, I could pull myself up by my bootstraps, but only in America? Huh? I thought you said you were a hard worker. Work hard where you're at, right? And then you come and realistically, we have been more open in terms of anyone else. When they bring Asians over, they dump them in the black community. They bring Indians, Mexicans over, dump them in the black community. And we're like, okay, fine, man, we love everybody. And then now that black community is not a black community anymore. And now you have to speak Spanish. And if you like, man, hold on, like, I'm cool with y'all, but I don't think I should have to speak Spanish to go to school or get a job here. Oh, you're xenophobic. And then, see, you guys are just low IQ. Why can't you learn Spanish? Why can't you learn Spanish? America doesn't have an official language. So then it turns into that. It turns into resentment. It turns into disdain, just because they want to be transplants. They want to come to your area and turn it into their homeland that they fled from. And we're saying, hey, that's fine. All we're saying is don't deny us those resources. And then when we go to say, hey, hold on, we just seen that y'all just gave these newly arrived immigrants all of the resources that y'all said y'all didn't have. All we asking for is a piece of those resources. Guess who's the first one up there to say what we shouldn't get? Some non-black person who barely speaks English with a thick accent saying, no, you shouldn't get reparations. You shouldn't get this. Okay, fine. Y'all believe we shouldn't get reparations? Well, I believe that they shouldn't allow you to enter the country illegally. That's xenophobic. So I don't want y'all to break the law and enter the country illegally. That's xenophobic. But you coming over here anti-black saying, and it's not just reparations, y'all don't want us to get anything, y'all don't want us to get any specific tangible. That's DEI. Guess who benefits the least from DEI? Black people. Guess who benefits the least from affirmative action? Black people. Immigrants, white people, they benefit the most. And they were on the front lines to tear it down. Why? Because they thought it was disproportionately helping us. They want to tear down something that wasn't even for them, that they came and got dibs on. Imagine I made a pizza for you, and then some people from nowhere, some neighbors, some people from the neighboring cities come over, and then suddenly they get to eat the pizza before you, and by the time you try to get a slice of pizza, there's nothing left. Oh, but I left you some crust. They didn't leave you a slice, they left you crust, but the pizza was made for you. That's how it is with us. Hey, go out there, black people, crash out for the No Kings protest, crash out for this political issue. But at the end of the day, we're going to take all the bullets, arrows, all the vitriol, and when there's time to allocate some tangible resources, we're not going to get nothing out of it. And if they do give it to a black person, they're going to give it to a black immigrant and say, hey, Dikembe Mutombo was black too. But let's let this video finish up.
I'm losing clients because you're exposing what we're suffering from. And that in itself is a great example as to why we as Latinos, we can't solve these issues. Because our problem is not the anti-blackness, the anti-indigeneity in our practices. That's not the problem. The problem is you're making us look bad, Ricardo. A couple of black people have reached out to me to
Okay, so that was the video right there, and that was the video of Ricardo Ignacio. And I want to touch on the last thing that he was talking about, the Dominican person. He was mad that Ricardo, he said, you're not wrong, but you're making me lose black American customers. So he didn't care. And Dominicans are notorious for I know black papi, but they don't mind cutting black hairs. They don't mind accepting black dollars to turn around and say, hey, I'm not black. And that's fine. You don't need to claim blackness. But once you denigrate blackness. And notice, you never hear Dominicans saying, I know white, papi, but they will say, I know black, right? It's just like, it's just like being anti-black is inherent to many. But we have been joined by another illustrious guest coming live and direct from Oregon. We got Fire in building. You came in, Fire. I'm probably gonna get ready to shut her down pretty soon. This was just an impromptu strain. I just want to come in and tap in with the fam. I told you I wasn't gonna be here for a long time, but it will be a strong time. But I do got something planned later this evening. You know, I'm gonna probably pop back up, but I do want to say thank all of y'all who came through and supported me. Hit your boy with a like, definitely. And hey, if you're feeling generous,
You think it's about time you gave me my money? Want my money? I need cash. Please send that money. Please send that money. Please send that money. Want my money? I need cash. Want my money? I need cash. Want my money?
if you are feeling generous, you know, make your boy a contribution, but I do appreciate your support. You know what won't cost you a fee? The likes are free. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Even after the stream, hit your boy with a thumbs up, a fist emoji, a fire. Hey, if you didn't like the stream, give a thumbs down and tell me how much you hated it in the comments, right? So I do plan on coming back later this evening and hitting y'all with the double header. I will be more consistent when my streaming. I don't have a schedule yet because my schedule is so hectic. So I've just been hitting y'all with these impromptu streams. Most of my viewership has been from the replay gang. So I sincerely appreciate y'all, and especially my live viewers. Y'all could be anywhere in the world. Y'all chose to be here with me. And for that, I thank y'all. But y'all know, I'm going to send y'all out the right way. Because you know, I'm going to hit you.
Yeah. Hey. B-Eazy, that dude, shit so hot it's burning up. Just go ahead and turn this up. I bring the pain like an aftermath of a car wreck. There's a lot of niggas that say they real. To me, that shit is far-fetched. Them cats is pussy. They really is on some feminine stuff. I rock up on them with the 40 ounces. It's the definition of adrenaline rush. What it do is sweet like cinnamon puffer. My niggas is rough like Brillo Pass. Grew up out on Mary Mac, but I used to hang on Willow Pass. These birds that I roll with, outcasts and misfits. Better zip lips so you get hit when the fifth spit. Flat line in your fit. Track habits is black magic, no voodoo. Get the bands like Goku for the cocaine to go cuckoo. Most these niggas is foo-foo, so I'm shitting on them like doo-doo. I can't fuck with y'all like tofu. I'm just saying, man, like Goku. Bad bitches at the house with me watching Netflix or Roku. Fuck them both at the same time, and I swear to God it was so cool. Street legend, real boss. I call shots cause I'm still saucy. I know some G's to the bike crack on shite racking and fly back out to Millwall. When they hear me flow, they say I be burning up, burning up. Cookie to the draw is what we burning up, burning up. What you ain't know, oh, we burning up, burning up. This shit so hot, it's burning up. Just go ahead and turn this up. When you hear these flows, I be burning up, burning up. Cookie to the draw is what we burning up, burning up. What you ain't know, oh, we burning up, burning up. This shit so hot, it's burning up. Just go ahead and turn this up.